to check in with you today and talk a little bit about what's going on with the podcast this week. This week, we have feminist marketing consultant Kelly Deals on the show. It's kind of a broad-based conversation talking about many things, including her definition of feminism, which I know that there are many, many definitions out there. The thing that might be kind of interesting to you is that I have this weird relationship with feminism. And the reason I say that might be weird for you is when you have a shirt that says Women Conquer Business and a podcast and a company, I think feminism is just taken for granted. The issue that I have with it, though, is that feminism hasn't always been inclusive of all people and all ideas. And even for myself, at times, I have felt not included. And here I am, this straight white woman, so I can only imagine how other people have felt. And if we look back at history, there have in fact been times over and over and over again when not everyone has been included, particularly women of color, and then more recently, women or people who identify as women across the gender spectrum. And there's still some kind of infighting that I see and witness today. So it doesn't mean, though, that if you are in favor of women, I mean, let's face it, I'm very self-interested in the rights of women because I identify as a woman. I'm a woman. So it means, though, that we all have to kind of consider how we define feminism. And it also means that, as Kelly said, some of the constructs for what we believe feminism is or is not is actually more or less a media creation. Remember that when we're watching things on television or reading them in the newspaper, although I probably think you're reading it online, maybe not, I don't know. But people are choosing the stories that run. People are choosing the angle of the stories that run. And in fact, it reminds me of something that I heard here in Oregon on Oregon Public Radio about the homeless population. And they were making it sound like people were getting donations from high-end restaurants and cooking food. And, and certainly that happens, but that is not the experience for all homeless people in Portland, let alone across the country. So when you see things or read things, it's important to kind of think about like the broader context. And Kelly was really good at reminding me about that. And I would say that some of my experiences, particularly as a woman in tech, have kind of shifted maybe what some of these constructs and definitions mean for me. And they probably have for you. All of this to say that listening to the podcast is awesome because Kelly brings in her own sense and flavor. And because she's worked with a lot of companies about kind of bringing forth some of these ideas and some of these notions, I think it's really important. One of the aspects of the interview that actually didn't run, that I'll have to get into my podcast club, is this whole way that Kelly selects the software that she uses. And it's really interesting because, a lot of the things that I do and other professionals do when they are guiding people to select software is it's more about like what it does and is it going to meet the needs. If you are a values-based organization, you can easily include your values into what you're looking for with software. And Kelly broke it down in the interview, and I'll post a clip somewhere so that you can hear it and see it. But here's the thing. Long story short, think about your values, consider your values, and know that there are a lot of really great companies out there that were founded or co-founded by women. For example, the social media scheduler that I use, Meet Edgar, founded by a woman. The courses platform that I use, Member Vault, co-founded by a woman. Mighty Networks, founded by a woman. There are Gumroad is founded by a man of color who also donates a great portion of his profits to other people of color to support, small businesses. In fact, he made the decision to leave Silicon Valley and move to Utah so he could learn about different groups of people that are different from him and remove himself from the confines of that startup network kind of thing. And he's made the decision not to just disrupt and sell off, which is what happens with a lot of startups. He's decided to create something that really supports small businesses. So all of that to say, if you have values and you are presenting those values, then think about where you're spending your money on your business and make sure that it's representative of your values. Now, that's not to say that that's the number one thing that you're looking for, but it is to say that it's always a factor. And the story that Kelly tells is that she was using a really popular WordPress template on her website, and it came time to, change it out, look at it, renew the contract. And she researched it and saw that, it was all white men, and then went on in social media and saw that the person who leads that company is not aligned with her values. Fair enough. So she found another one, because in some spaces, particularly around like a WordPress theme, you've got a lot of choices. So the point is, you have a lot of choices, and you can definitely make choices that are aligned with your mission and values. And if you need help with picking out software or building that infrastructure to help you reach your dreams, talk to me. I can help you with that. I help people all the time who want that architecture so that they know how to get to that most important place. Sometimes it's easier to dream the big things than it is to come up with what it's going to take to get there. And I can help you get there. And so with that, have a fabulous day, and I will talk to you soon.